decaf coffee. Since the video run out of record space, and I had to delete a few more videos that I'd been recording earlier. Nice decaf coffee anyway, black. Few sweeteners in it, because I ain't got no honey and I ain't got no sugar, so I'm using them, which make you hyperactive as well, don't they? So it's all conspiring in it, you know what I'm saying? Oh dear. Well, my mind's not racing, if you see what I mean. That's why I'm recording it at the moment. So there's nothing else popping into my mind that needs addressing, I don't think. I'm obviously doing it that way for a reason, and not because I'm hiding my face. I don't do that. Got no need to, see. I don't avoid eye contact either if I feel like it. When dealing with snakes, like official snakes, nah, I don't do eye contact with them because they're literally trying to invade your psyche with their language they use while trying to look into the windows of your soul at the same time. So I know what game they play. See what I mean? Anyway. How you doing, Marnie? You all right there, buddy? You've been up to watch and listen, have you? He's quite happy, isn't he? There's no antisocial noise coming from inside here, is there, late at night? Because I'm explaining what I'm doing, so nobody can play me next door. So it's pointless, you know, trying to set himself up for another court case to aid his handlers, the state, you know. See, I'm very careful in life as well, the same as channels I watch, because I got burned as well. I got abused by them bastards as well. And I ain't putting up with none of this shit, you know. So it's funny how people recover from trauma afterwards, isn't it? You know what I mean? Once they start talking to other people that have had the same thing, you know. What did they do when they divided and ruled my family? You know, back in them days, in the 80s, early 90s, it was a very hedonistic time, wasn't it? Everyone was into drugs, selling drugs, or taking drugs, whatever. Yeah, everyone was doing exactly the same, you know what I mean? So when I got raided, and my family was divided and ruled, that was the beginning of the fight back. So because it was over the kids and everything else, and I would have got custody of my kids, because whatever I was doing for my family, wasn't it? When I couldn't work because I was being denied work and a wage. Got to put food on the table, haven't you? Let's not look backwards, because my own mother, to help another mother, my children's mother, decided to suggest I needed a rest in a hospital because I was under too much pressure, and it must be something to do with so maybe you need to go and have a rest for a while. So I took the advice, then they started trying to push medication on me, and in the end they was asking me, well, if you won't take that medication and you won't take that medication, we're going to ask you to leave. I said, well, no, I'm supposed to be in here getting help, aren't I? That's what I was told and suggested to when I come in here. The psychiatrist was trying to get in my head, so stop trying to give me shit. So I just went in the toilet. I said, excuse me, I said, I'm bursting. So I went and had a shit into a bit of toilet roll, and then I put it on the heels of my shoe, and then tiptoed back in the office. I said, oh, mate, I said, I had to push that one out quick because you was in a rush and you was stressing me out. And he said, oh, that's okay, let's carry on where we left off. So, yeah, I said, yeah, let's do that. So I sort of put my feet on the floor properly and just started rubbing my feet on the carpet. I said, I think I've shit myself. He said, oh, mate, he said, do you need any medication for that? He said, well, why won't you take our medication? I said, well, because you keep offering me different ones, so I'll just accept any one, won't it? I said, have you got anything worthwhile in there, like an E or anything? He said, what are you saying? I said, so you're no use to me then, are you? I said, what are you trying to palm all this fucking dodgy shit off on me for? You know what I mean? So I was laughing and joking, reverse psychology with a psychiatrist. So they asked me to leave the hospital that was called St Martin's in Canterbury. You can look up the name of it. Or the police would come and remove me from it, of all things. And guess who was going to turn up for a visit at Hales Barracks, opposite, while I was in there and they was trying to medicate me? Guess who the special visitor was? I joked out loud. I said, I hope no birds fly into the helicopter's rotors and it crashes and he doesn't die, you know what I mean? Yeah, funny old story that. Guess who that prince was? A certain Prince Charles was going to come and give me an injection up the jacksie, was he? After they'd injected me up the jacksie, if I got out of order in there, or see what I'm saying? Anyway, he didn't turn up at the barracks. The visit was called off because they thought there might be a security risk. Another patient in there showed me how to use mental ability to set off the alarms. So that's how I learnt that trick for in prison. Mental health issue patient helping another mental health patient back in the day. Only reason I got suggested that I have time in there was for the father to be destroyed, so the mothers kept control of the finances, like with the children, because that's the woman's job, isn't it? So I live up here now near my dad, not living near my mother. But my dad died, and I'm still not living down by my mother, am I? Because of what she did, her disloyalty. So there you go. I still talk to her, but every now and then. But she's very pro-royal and all that sort of shit. So, to her, having the royals turn up in Canterbury while her son's in one of their institutions, ooh, that's why I live up here. So, in the words of the Crash song, Big A, Little A, the section about the Queen in that's worth a laugh. A message from the Queen as figurehead of the status quo. She sets the social scene. She's most concerned about her people. She wants to give them peace, so she's making sure they stay in line with her army and police. Her prisons, her mental homes have ever opened doors for those amongst her subjects who dare to ask for more. See? Music's a funny thing when used correctly, isn't it? It can be used as a sub-language, which they don't like at all. Because they like to control the language, don't they? And the narrative and everything else. How's that going so far, yeah? Like I said, I've got a dry bud one. But for now, I've got to use the nicotine replacement thing because it's the tobacco that's causing the lung issues, along with certain other factories I've worked in over the years, like galvanising factories and things like that, which are full of zinc, sulfuric acid, fumes, lead. And if it rained outside the factory when I was working a night shift to provide for my family in Sittingbourne at the time, the fumes come down so low they couldn't get out the factory. So you go in the factory clean at the beginning of your shift, you come out looking like a coal miner, literally, by the end of the shift. Your teeth are black, your face is black. And I had to go back home to my family like that. So, like, taking all them chemical shit in my lungs, and it burnt holes in my lung lining, which is what's caused the emphysema. So, being gassed by the state asset there, that only made that problem worse, didn't it? So, I got that, then I got abuse by the state in prison, blah. And, yeah. So, in the words of Al Murray, beautiful people, the English people. It's the idiots that rule them. They're the problem. So, you know. But Al Murray even got it wrong, because he kept saying God save the Queen, and he didn't, did he? He actually took her away. Like the way she took everybody away and kept them in cages and, you know, and abused them through the system. So yeah, it's a funny old world. Has that cooled down a bit now? Yeah, just right, I can drink it now. Don't want to add any more heat to the situation, do I? So, decaf for now. So if it's not bothering Marnie next, who's laying right next to me, how can it bother a deaf man next door? Who moans if I'm listening to the telly or talking in here? How can he hear in here? How can he hear to assess that I'm mental? Do you know what I mean? I might be talking to my dog, not talking to myself. Do you know what I mean? But if I'm recording a video, that's different, isn't it? Cheap garage vape, that is, just with the paint scratched off it. I did have two, but the dogs broke the other one play fighting, and then the one I cleaned all the paint off, the top of it. That's off the other one that I didn't do it to. So the other one, the little bits inside it started playing up, and it was like I was swallowing fucking vape juice, because it was something to do with the the gubbins inside that works it all. I can't remember the word at the moment, so I just switched the top over, and I'm using Poundland 16 milligram menthol cool vape juice in that. And it does the same as smoking a cigarette, basically. It's about the same strength. So you don't have to have a cigarette. You can use the nicotine replacement in that, what you get from a cigarette. They're only £1. I'm down to 15, and you get a fair old fucking chug of thing out of these cheap ones. I think it was about 10 quid or something from the garage, this one. Something like that. And then Poundland for the vape juice, what goes inside it. So, £1 for the nicotine. So the taxes they lose on the tobacco for being greedy, that would be me personal amount, wouldn't it? What goes in the other vape? Ooh, starting to get a bit of indigestion now from it, so I've had too much nicotine. Oh, I can feel that burning me. You know what I mean, when you're smoking too much and you get a fucking nicotine overdose. That's what that is. So, 20 minutes worth of video. I've got 15% left on the battery, so I'm again going to upload this one quickly, and then stick the phone on charge and then get to sleep. Okay, after disabling YouTube again. But this is why I've gone back making videos rather than get up, set the whole system up, and do it from a computer. So you can either do it that way or do it the way you're doing it. But I think the website's a brilliant idea. The Twitch side of it was just help work around, if you see what I mean. Because you still get your loyal fans that will use a free sub off their Amazon Prime to stay in contact with you. You know, I use smoking sites for learning about that side of doing it properly, from seed to oil to everything else. I use music sites because that's my real passion in life. I enjoy music. I enjoy listening to music. It's always fascinated me how it's made. So I talk to musicians on their live chats. You know what I mean? I've got dogs. You know my life story. There's no I'm just thinking of the word. There's no sinister connections. Where I come from in Kent is more Mike Righteous's area now. And that's what my children listen to and I listen to as well. B used to be a London boy, and he moved down that way because of what was going on in the city. I know his story as well, but it's for other people to check out his story and learn the truth, isn't it? I don't tell other people's stories, and you know, it's down to the individual to tell their story and whether people want to listen to it or not. But he was a fan of M&M's, and you know, had issues as well, same as we all do. Everyone has a past in life, including myself. It's about learning from any mistakes you make in life and moving forward with them, you know. If I was a nonce, informer or anything else, I would have been killed in prison anyway, wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? But I was on the medical wing with a lot of other sort of dangerous people that had been put in prison when they really should have been getting medical help, you know what I mean? And that's what they was trying to do to me. So yes, there was wrong uns on that wing as well, but I weren't one of them. You know what I mean? There was rumours circling about that they were sneaking them into the wing and all that sort of thing. I said, I'm not interested in other people's bullshit. I want to get home safe to my family, my children, my grandchildren. I'm not interested in prison bullshit or anyone else's dramas. If anyone's got a problem with that, you know I've been on hunger strike. You know I ended it and why. So if I can do that to myself, imagine what I can do to somebody else as I'm building myself back up. So I came in here to serve this sentence, but I can serve life without a bat of an eye, so please don't do that to me. But one person, a foreigner, had to try his luck. You know what I mean? So I didn't respond the same as what I got put in prison for, because that would have been a trap, wouldn't it, to extend my sentence to make me commit the same crime in prison. But I did tell them clearly, don't push your luck. Yeah, he lost his cell. I shared it with a schizophrenic after that, and he was a lovely guy, do you know what I mean? We was laughing and joking about all sorts of funny shit, and substances and shit. You know what I mean? Then after that, I had a cellmate from Romford that was a pub landlord, funnily enough. He told me that he'd run over a kid by accident. I said, oh, well, of course you're a pub landlord, so guess what was in your system? And he said, yeah, exactly. I said, what's your pub doing now then? You know, we was just general chit-chatting. I said, what's your pub doing now then? He said, well, they've got a karaoke night for the ladies and all that down there. I said, I know a man that, you know, he's an independent now. I said, you know, if you want, or if you want to help a man out, I said, yeah, pack your pub full of ladies, won't it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, even in prison I was talking nicely about people, you know. I never gave my phone number out to anyone in there or any contact details to anyone in there because, nah, once prison's over, it's over, innit? You all go in your merry way. But I did say to the pub landlord now, I did say to him, well, that's up to you, that's your business, you know what I mean? But if you want a man to help you out, and you can help, you know, in the other roundabout way or whatever, then, I don't know, get your missus to contact him or something and ask him if he's interested in doing something like that. I said, it's not my decision, is it? I'm just putting you in contact with, you know. I said, but don't take the piss out of the guy because he's a really nice guy, the same as you are. Everyone makes bad moves in life and makes mistakes in life, so, you know. There you go. He was working in the kitchen, I was getting extra food and that. Got on great, you know. So I was building myself back up, I was getting treated okay because I was treating everyone else okay in there, you know. Didn't have a problem with screws either, I'd be polite to them. When other prisoners were saying, what are you on their side? I said, it's all about fucking sides. I said, I want a nice day, so I treat them with respect, the same as I treat you with respect. That's the old school way, innit? I said I smile, I'm polite with them, because if I'm not, they're going to give me a shit day, aren't they? And I've seen how they give you a shit day when you fucking abuse them, so, I'm not in all that prison mentality. I'm not this is my first time in prison. I said, but let's have a chat about what I used to do back in the day. I said, because I'm only in prison for fucking twatting someone who tried to kill me. You know what I mean? There you go. Really? They said. I said, yeah. I said, wait and see what happens when that corrupt probation officer tries to come in this prison to rub my nose in what he's done to me. I said, you watch what happens. I said, I'll bend him over that fucking desk and fuck him like a dominant dog. Fucking cunt. You know what I mean? Because that's the language they understood in there. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was polite and respectful and laughed and joked about. And when they was joking about, you know, punk music and stuff like that, and, you know, even singing Pistol songs and that, I said, nah, he said, I love Sid Vicious. I said, yes, Sid Vicious was a mug when he got on the heroin. Owed money to drug dealers, according to Johnny Rotten, and that's why Nancy was killed while they was both drugged up. Not by Sid, though. And then when Sid got put in prison, he got raped and everything because he had victim written across his head. You know what I mean? He was a smackhead, wasn't he? He's a victim. So he was trying to hide the abuse behind his drugs, and he went into prison as a victim, and they raped him in there. That's why he committed suicide afterwards. You know what I mean? So, it's a funny old world. But Johnny Rotten's still making music, isn't he? So Steve Jones, Paul Cook, Glenn Matlock, you know, just different style of music. But they're still going. Look what they've done to their careers. That's better. Just one chug on it this time. Because I'm trying to get the doses right for it.